Why your six-figure salary feels like poverty. You did everything right. You studied hard, you worked hours, you built your career step by step. Eventually, you reached the dream number, six figures, $100,000 a year. For decades, that number represented success, stability, security. If someone told you they made $100,000 a year, most people would assume they were doing well financially. Something strange has been happening in recent years. More and more people who earn six-figure salaries are quietly admitting the thing. They still feel broke. They still feel anxious when bills arrive. They still check their bank account before making purchases. Somehow, despite earning more money than ever before, they are still living paycheck to paycheck. So what happened? Did people suddenly become terrible with money? Did everyone lose discipline at the same time? Not exactly. What many people are experiencing today is something economists and financial analysts call the middle-class trap. Once you understand how it works, you begin to realize that the problem was never just about your salary. The illusion of the six-figure dream. Let's go back 20 or 30 years. In the 2000s, earning $100,000 a year was considered a major financial milestone. It meant stability. It meant comfort. It often meant you were above the average household income. Housing was cheaper. A normal home could be purchased for a fraction of today's prices. Healthcare costs were significantly lower. Childcare expenses were manageable. Everyday things like groceries, transportation, and insurance were far less expensive relative to income. Then, earning six figures truly meant something. It meant breathing room. It meant security. Today, that same number often tells a completely different story because the cost of existing in modern society has exploded. Housing prices in cities have doubled or even tripled. Rent alone can consume 30 to 50% of someone's income. Childcare, in some places, now costs more than college tuition. Healthcare premiums continue to rise every year. Groceries, energy bills, insurance, and transportation have all become dramatically more expensive. So while salaries have increased, the cost of living has increased faster, which means the number might be bigger. The purchasing power behind that number has quietly shrunk. That's the first layer of the middle-class trap, lifestyle inflation. The second layer is psychological. As income increases, expectations increase as well. This phenomenon is called lifestyle inflation. When people start earning money, they rarely keep their old lifestyle. Instead, they slowly upgrade everything around them. A nicer apartment, a nicer car, frequent vacations, more dining out, better gadgets, better furniture, more convenience services. None of these changes feel extreme on their own. Each one seems reasonable. After all, if you worked hard to earn more money, shouldn't your life improve? Here's where the middle-class trap begins. Each upgrade increases your baseline cost of living. After enough upgrades, the lifestyle itself becomes expensive to maintain. Suddenly, your higher salary is no longer money. It has become the amount required just to sustain your current life, which is why many high earners feel like they're running faster, not actually getting ahead. The invisible expenses. Another part of the middle-class trap comes from something people rarely think about: invisible overhead. Modern life is filled with recurring expenses that barely existed a generation ago. Subscriptions, streaming services, software tools, cloud storage, phone upgrades, app payments, insurance plans, online memberships. Individually, these expenses seem harmless. $10 here, $15 there, maybe $20 or $30 for something. When you add them all together, they become a constant drain on your finances. Many people today are paying hundreds or even thousands of dollars every month on recurring expenses they barely notice anymore. Think of them like leaks in a boat. One leak is not dangerous. Dozens of leaks slowly fill the boat with water. Many high earners are unknowingly managing dozens of financial leaks at the same time. The debt machine. Debt is another component of the middle-class trap. Modern economies are built around borrowing: student loans to get an education, car loans to afford transportation, mortgages to buy a home, credit cards for spending. Debt is not always bad. In fact, some debt can be useful. When multiple debts stack on top of each other, something important happens. Your future income becomes pre-committed. Every month, before you even begin living your life, large portions of your paycheck are already spoken for. Mortgage payments, student loan payments, car payments, credit card minimums, insurance, taxes. Suddenly, that impressive six-figure salary starts shrinking quickly because much of it is already promised to someone. The status game. There's another force influencing financial behavior: status pressure. Modern culture constantly tells us what success is supposed to look like: a bigger home, a nicer car, luxury vacations, designer clothing, premium experiences. Social media amplifies this pressure further. We are constantly exposed to curated lifestyles that make ordinary life feel inadequate. When someone finally reaches a high income level, there is often a subtle expectation to match that lifestyle. Status is expensive, sometimes extremely expensive. Chasing status often requires sacrificing something much more valuable: financial freedom. What wealth actually means. Here's the uncomfortable truth that most people eventually discover: income and wealth are not the same thing. Wealth is not defined by how money you earn. Wealth is defined by how money you keep. Two people can earn the same salary. If one person spends everything they earn, while the other saves and invests consistently, their financial futures will look completely different. 10 years later, one person might have possessions, the other person will have options. Options are the real currency of wealth: the option to leave a job you hate, the option to survive an emergency, the option to take time off without fear, the option to invest in opportunities when they appear. Those options come from margin, not from income alone. Escaping the middle-class trap. So how do people escape this trap? The first step is awareness. Instead of asking, "How much do I earn?" start asking, "How much do I keep?" Instead of upgrading every part of your life as income increases, focus on protecting the gap between income and expenses. That gap is where wealth grows. It becomes savings. It becomes investments. It becomes freedom. Because the real goal is not just earning money. The real goal is building a life where money stops controlling your decisions. The final takeaway. The middle-class trap is powerful because it is invisible. From the outside, everything looks successful: a good job, a strong salary, a comfortable lifestyle. Beneath that surface, many people are living with constant financial pressure. The lesson here is simple: a six-figure salary is not a guarantee of wealth. It is an opportunity. What truly determines financial security is not the number on your paycheck, the system you build around it. The people who win financially are rarely the ones who earn the most. They are the ones who understand the game early. Once you understand the middle-class trap, you can start building a way out.